do a video today giving you 15 reasons why you should homeschool. Number 1, you don't have to follow any curriculum. This might not be the case for those in different countries, but in the UK you don't actually have to follow any curriculum when you homeschool. You can literally do whatever you want. So if you want to follow the national curriculum, you can do that, but a lot of people actually do not follow any curriculum at all. Some people follow some curriculums for some subjects and not for others. You can just do what you want, and it's brilliant because this means that you can actually follow your child's interests. If they're interested in something in particular, you can spend a lot of time learning about that one thing. If they're not interested in something, then you don't have to study that. And this is really good because if children are interested in learning, it means that they will enjoy it more and they'll want to learn and they'll remember what they're learning. So following the child's interest is just a brilliant thing to do. Number 2, children can learn at their own pace. This is really important. When you homeschool, children are not under any pressure at all to keep up with other children in their class or to stay at the level of children in the class if they are more advanced. So you can go at a faster pace or a slower pace than the year group at school. And this is really good because it means if your children are struggling, then you can just slow down and take more time learning certain things. And if they're more advanced, then they're not just going to be stuck doing the same thing, getting bored. Number 3, they can do their exams, GCSEs or any other exams, A-levels, GCSEs, they can do them all early if they're more advanced. They don't have to do it when they're 16, they could do it slightly earlier. And that works well for some people. Number 4, you don't have to do exams if you don't want to. There's no SAT tests or any other kind of tests that you have to do. And this is really good because it means that there's no pressure on children to be doing exams when they're not ready to be doing exams yet. Some home educated children don't even do GCSEs or A-levels and they manage to go to university without having done any exams at all. Now, I'm not saying that's right for everyone, but you can just follow what your child wants and what you want as a family, whether you want them to do exams or not. Number 5, shorter days. When you homeschool, you don't have to sit down and do school from 9 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon like you do in a proper school. You can actually do the same amount of work in about 1, 2 or 3 hours at home than you can get done in a 6-hour school day. This is just so much better because it means that there is so much more time to be doing other things. So in our homeschool, we normally just do our learning in the morning and then in the afternoon we're free to go out. And that leads me to number 6, more time to play. So as we get all our work done in the morning, then we're free for the rest of the day to go out and about, go to the park, spend time outside, see friends, go to groups and do really fun things. Number 7, you can spend more time outdoors. This is, I think, is really important. I want my children to spend as much time outdoors as possible. They don't have to be stuck inside a classroom all day, staring at the walls. If the weather's beautiful, then we just go outside. We take our books, we take our work and we go outside. We actually follow a nature curriculum anyway, so we spend time outside even if the weather's not nice. But I just think it's really important for children to spend as much time outside as possible. Number 8, children can socialise with people of all ages. A lot of the time, people think that homeschooled children are not able to socialise and they don't have any friends. Well, this is completely not the case. The main difference with homeschooling and being in school is that with homeschooling, children get to socialise with children and adults of all ages. They are not just stuck socialising with 30 other children the same age as them. This is really nice because it means that they can learn things from the older children and also they learn to help and look after the younger children. And it's just like a big community, really. Number 9, you don't have to worry about the bullying that goes on at school. I am forever reading horror stories in the news, in the newspapers, about the terrible, terrible bullying that's going on in school these days. Now, I'm not saying that this doesn't happen in homeschooling, because, you know, when we get together in groups, there are times when children are being mean to one another or leaving someone out. But, you know, there are a lot of adults around. Well, my children are young, so there are a lot of adults around to kind of intervene and help sort the situation out. And I don't have to worry at all about the kind of bullying that goes on in schools. Number 10, there is less peer pressure. So often in schools, children are pressured into doing things by other children, whether it be wearing makeup or wearing a certain type of trainers or acting in a certain way. With homeschooling, there's not this kind of pressure at all. Often people are very accepting and tolerant of people's differences. There's a lot of diversity within the home ed community. So children are always seeing people that are different to them, and they learn to accept them for who they are. And there's not that kind of pressure that everyone should be acting a certain way, because the children just understand that everyone does things the way they want to do them, and that's absolutely fine. Number 11, you don't have to worry about the children getting influenced by the wrong kind of people. This can be a real worry for some parents who are worried about what their children will get influenced by when they attend school. It is a worry for me, I must say. I think schools have changed a lot since I was at school, and that's probably due to social media and things like that. And I would worry, I think, if I sent my kids to school and worry about what they were doing and getting up to in the playground. So yeah, with homeschooling, it's a relief. I don't have to worry about that kind of thing. Number 12, no school uniform. Now, some people really like school uniform. They think children should be all dressed the same way. If they look all the same, then they don't have to worry about if they haven't got the latest trainers and things like that. But I just think children should be allowed to wear what they want to wear. I didn't like wearing school uniform, and I'm quite glad that I don't have to worry about putting my kids in school uniform, and they can just wear what they want. Number 13, you can go on holiday whenever you want. In the UK, schools often do not allow children to go on holiday in term time, and this can be quite problematic for those of us who have family abroad. It means that it's very expensive to go away, and we can't go away nearly as much as we want to. And if you do take time off in the term time, schools will often fine you. So when you home educate, it's just amazing, because we can go on holiday whenever we want, we can stay for however long we want, and yeah, it's just brilliant. Number 14, you don't have to worry about the teaching of sex education. I know a lot of parents do worry about this, because they brought in a lot of changes recently about what children learn and at what age they learn them. And I do think they start a bit too young at school. So when I home educate, I can introduce the topics in the way that I choose to, and teach them about the things that I think are important in the way that I think is best. And I don't have to worry about somebody else doing that in an inappropriate way at school. Finally, number 15, children don't get so many illnesses. My daughter did actually go to school for a year, and she was ill so many times in that year. And, you know, the worst thing that happened was that she actually came home with cold sores all over the inside of her mouth, and then she spread it around to all her siblings. And I was breastfeeding at the time, and I got it on my breast as well, and I had to stop breastfeeding on one side, and it was literally just the worst thing ever. And when I spoke to the school about it, they didn't even realise that it was a problem, and they said children should not have any time off school if they have that kind of thing. But my daughter had picked it up from school, and even the other parents, they didn't think it was a problem, and they thought that children should just be sent to school like that. But you know what? It caused our family a lot of problems, and I just don't think children should be allowed to go to school and spread their illnesses around. Same thing with nits. Luckily, my daughter never got nits when she was at school, but I know that that can be a problem for a lot of people. A lot of children get nits at school, and because you're told to go to school with nits, it just keeps coming back and coming back and coming back and spreading around the whole class, and yeah, it's just a nightmare. So yeah, I'm glad that now my kids are at school, they don't get so many illnesses. So I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos.